Hello everyone! Welcome back to my channel. My name is Krystle, just in case you are new here, and today I have an end of the year book haul for you all. Welcome back, guys. It has been a while since I filmed something, probably about 2 months. I've been so busy, a lot of personal stuff going on. I needed to take a social media break, but I just hope you guys all know that I do love you and I'm still here hiding, but I'm here, I'm back. I have a huge book haul for you guys because I have been absent from social media, but I haven't been absent from buying books. Books have been my savior during this tough time, and I am just so happy that I have books to rely on. It's been a tough year for all of us, a tough 2 years for all of us, and I think a lot of us find such solitude in books right now, and that is our escape from all of the craziness that's going on in our world at the moment. Hoping that we are getting out of this, sadness, but we shall see what happens in the future. I am hoping that 2022 just has so much more happiness in it and so much more hope for all of us. It is the year I'm getting married, so hopefully there's a lot of good things in the future. Can't wait, but also at the same time I'm like, oh my god, time needs to slow down. But on that note, let's get into the book haul that I said that I have for you all. Like I said, I've been reading a lot. I will do an end of the year wrap up for you just to give you guys an idea. I did meet my Goodreads goal. I didn't read 100 books, but I read 55 books this year, which I think is a whole lot considering how busy I was this year. I can't believe I even finished my goal, but I did wrap it up with a Christmas book, which was so exciting. As I hit that red button and I gave my star rating, I got the confetti and it said that I completed my goal. So that was really, really nice to end the year. So I have a bunch of books here that I'm hoping to read in the new year coming, because I don't think I'm going to get much more reading done for the rest of the year. So here we are with this book haul. In no particular order, like I always say, because I just put stacks of books next to me as I go, but I have probably 30 books here that I would like to haul for you all. So the first one I have is this mass market paperback, and it's called In the Company of Witches, and this is by Norell Wallace. This is one of those cozy mystery books that you see in Barnes & Noble, these like little tiny mini paperbacks with really adorable cats on them most of the time, very adorable cats or dogs. I'm so into this right now. I'm very much into cozy mysteries, and if you have any recommendations for me, please leave them down below. I feel like a lot of us booktubers don't talk about this genre much, but if you like mysteries with less like blood and guts per se, a little bit more on the Hallmark side of things, these books are great, and they're so easy to read. So if you're looking for like a quick book, definitely check out some of these mystery books. But Norell Wallace has written so many. I actually looked her up, and I can't believe she's got a lot going on. So I'm looking forward to getting to this. This is about witches that own an inn, and a murder happens at their inn, and they kind of have to solve it, but also they have magic powers. Very like Charmed feeling, if you know what I'm talking about from the 90s, that TV show, if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so definitely get Charmed vibes from this, and I'm looking forward to picking it up very soon in January. Next I have another witch book, and that is Payback's a Witch, and this is by Lana Harper, which I still have the 20% off from Target. I have been wanting to read this. This is, I believe it's a sapphic romance, but it does start off with a witch who's like coming back to town, and she kind of ran from her problems and her powers and just wanted to have a normal life, and now she's coming back to her hometown and facing heartbreak and things like that. I think it's going to be a series. I've heard mixed things about it, but I wanted to check it out for myself, and not for nothing, the cover is beautiful and I love having it on my TBR cart. I think it looks really great with the rest of my witchy books that I have on there. So can I say it's a cover by possibly, but I'm hoping the content on the inside of this book is just as beautiful as the cover on the outside. Next, I have here two first in a series books that I am completely and utterly intimidated by, that I've been putting off for a long time, but it is time in 2022 to get to these books. The first one is The Eye of the World by Robert Jordan, and the second one is The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. I need to get to both these series this year. I would really like to start the Wheel of Time TV show, and I never really read anything from Brandon Sanderson. I did read the Mistborn series a long time ago, and I don't remember much of it. I remember loving it, and I flew through it. So I really want to pick this beloved series up. I know it's going to be a while until this series finishes, but it's also going to probably take me a year to read 2 books in this series. I think this is like 1,000 pages. Crazy. So I'm looking forward to getting to these. If you love this series, please let me know. And then I have here another series that I've been binging with my friend Bianca at Belladonna Books on Instagram. If you don't follow her, definitely give her a follow. She is my favorite witch, and we just get along so well. I love her to death. But we are currently obsessed with this series, and that is the Stalking Jack the Ripper series. I have all 4 books. The third one I'm reading, and I think I left it downstairs or something, but it's The Escape from Houdini. So the first one is Stalking Jack the Ripper. And then the second one is Hunting Prince Dracula, which takes place in like Romania, which is where my family is from. Some of my ancestors on my mom's side is from. So I really enjoyed reading this because it just gave me such awesome vibes. And then The Escape from Houdini, and then the final book in the series is Capturing the Devil. I just love it. I love the characters in here. This is the first time that I feel in like a YA series that the main character, who is a woman, isn't annoying. Like, I really enjoy Audrey Rose, and I love Thomas Krystle and their chemistry and their banter. I love the setting. I love Victorian London. I love just everything about Kerri Maniscalco's writing in this series. I also really loved her other series that I think it's a duology, Kingdom of the Wicked. Really loved that as well. I just mesh with her writing. I really love her as a writer. So looking forward to getting to the third one. We will be starting that. We just wrapped up Hunting Prince Dracula, and that actually is a great book to read this time of year because it does take place on, well, it ends on Christmas Eve. So you have the whole like month of December playing out in that book. So I really enjoyed reading it during this time of year. It really came through for me. And then The Escape from Houdini, it starts on New Year's Eve. So we're gonna pick that up. Well, we started picking that up now. So yes, let me know if you love this series as well. It is a new favorite series, and I've just been loving YA. I can't help it. I've just been loving YA, and a lot of this book haul is YA books. I don't know what it is. I've just been into it. I needed a break for a while from it, but it's coming back. Another book, which is a first in a series. I have a lot of series I have to get to this upcoming year. That is Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. I love the TV show Outlander, and I never read the books. I'm looking forward to reading them. I know that they are hard to get through, but I am determined. I love anything about Scotland. I love historical fiction, and I love time travel. So why I haven't picked this series up yet, I'm not sure. I think maybe because each book gets thicker and thicker, but this is a well-beloved series that has been going on for quite some time, and I want to know why everyone loves it so much. So I'm going to pick it up. I mean, I could see from the TV show why everyone loves it so much, but just like every other series out there, I feel like the books just are much more special than the TV show. You guys are not going to know who I am with this book haul. I'm just saying that right now. But the next book I have here is A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett St. Clair. This is a Persephone and Hades retelling romance, smutty romance book, and I'm all here for it. I really do love Greek retellings, especially since it has a lot to do with my practice of witchcraft. We do reference gods and goddesses and things like that. So I really love reading about them in fiction as well. So I can't wait to pick this up. I feel like this would be a great book for the springtime because I believe it does take place in the spring in the beginning. I started reading it. Oh, the Narcissus Flower. Like, I just feel like it might be a spring book. I don't know. So I'm going to hold on to it, but this is also a first in the series. And I've been liking romance lately. I don't know what's gotten into me. I became this very diverse reader over the years just from watching everyone's booktube videos. I think I've just been introducing new books to myself and finding out that I do love other genres besides horror and fantasy, and I am kind of straying a little bit from the horror genre because I feel like it boxed me in so much and I'm not really vibing with the stories. I'm having a tough time emotionally connecting to horror stories. They are kind of freaking me out a little bit more than I ever really thought, but it could be because I'm getting older as well. And I'm also in a different state of mind at this point in my life where I am very happy in my life and I am very excited for the future, and I just want all happy things around me right now, so that could be another thing as well. I don't really know. But anyway, let's get into some more books. It's a random one. This is Dickens at Christmas, and this is by Charles Dickens. This is a collection of a lot of his short stories that take place during Christmas time, and he is known for being a Christmas author. A lot of his stories are Christmas-like, and I've read a couple stories from here. I'm currently reading A Christmas Carol because we are a few days before Christmas, and I feel that I just need to read it right before Christmas. So yeah, some of these stories are pretty creepy. Some of his stories are hard to read because of the verbiage. For me, I have a hard time connecting with sometimes older style of writing, and a classic style of writing. It takes me a little bit to get through it, a little bit to absorb it. So some of these stories I didn't really connect to, but A Christmas Carol is such an easy read for everybody. So if you are wanting to read some Charles Dickens and you haven't read A Christmas Carol yet, or any of his short stories, I would suggest picking this up, because I feel like a lot of the stories in here are a little bit easier to read than like Great Expectations and things like that he's written in the past. Then I have another Christmas book here, and that is the Valancourt Ghost Stories, Christmas Ghost Stories, and this is edited by Tara Moore. I always see these pop up on Bookstagram, and I wanted to know about it. I started reading them. I started reading a few stories in here, and I am having a hard time connecting, like I said before, because of the type of writing style, and I just am having a hard time like picturing things. But one story in here, I think it was the Horror, a True Tale. That one was pretty creepy. So if you don't want to buy this whole book, maybe see if you can Google the story or something. I think it's by John Berwick Hardwood. It was a pretty creepy Victorian story. Victorians were very much into their ghost stories during Christmas time. It was tradition for them. I'm really loving learning about the Victorian era. I've been doing a lot of studying of that on my own just because I'm curious about it, and like death studies of Victorians and how they handled their dead, because they had such a fascination with the dead. They also did a lot of seances in that era and things like that. That's kind of where divination stemmed from for the mainstream. Divination was always something that was part of witchcraft as a practice and paganism as a practice, but the Victorians really adapted it and gave it legs to go. So I would say that this book is something to pick up. It's nothing super scary. It's not like horror stories. It's just ghost stories. Simple as that. Great to read around this time of year by a crackling fireplace. It doesn't have to mean that you read it before Christmas, even after Christmas. They kind of go for just the season. Then next I have my final book of the year, and that is The Christmas Bookshop by Jenny Colgan. I really love this book so much. So I highly suggest it for the Christmas season if you are looking for a cozy feel-good book that is basically a Hallmark movie in a book. check this out. I really enjoyed it. And it takes place in Edinburgh in Scotland. Am I saying that right? I don't even, too many words are coming out of my mouth today, but really, really loved this story. So check it out. Lots of snowy atmosphere, bookshop, romance, and just all around amazing book. Next I have a very large book, and that is Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norell by Susanna Clarke. This is kind of like a dark academia wizard story, basically, magicians. I don't really know much about it. I know Susanna Clarke is a well-loved writer, and a lot of people that have read this book loved it, and I've been told that it's a great dark academia book to read in the winter, not just the fall. It's a great like fall to winter transitional book, so I'm looking forward to picking this up in the winter. It sounds right up my alley. I love anything about a magic school, wizards, England. Just give it all to me. I love all the atmosphere, dark academia, libraries. I'm here for it. I love it all. So this is a well-loved book, and I hope I love it as well. Next, I have another start of a fantasy series, and that is Dune by Frank Herbert. Herbert. My Brooklyn, New Jersey accent is coming out. Sorry, guys. Loved the movie. Really enjoyed the movie. I need to read the series now because who knows when the next movie is going to be coming out. But yeah, really loved the idea of Dune, and I can't wait to pick this up, like I said. And the winter is a great time for fantasy. I'm craving all the fantasy right now. Then next I have another like YA book, and that is These Hollow Vows, and this is by Lexi Ryan. I've heard great things about this. This is a fairy, fae, romance, but also thrilling. Don't know anything else about it, but I just really love the cover as well. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to getting into this book. I've heard great things about it, like I said, so I can't wait to crack this open and read it for myself. It sounds like something that I'm really gonna love. I've been really getting into fairy and fae lore and learning about it and reading fiction and some educational books. So I want to read all the fae books coming this winter and some spring, and for the spring as well. The spring holidays, it's just all about fairies and fae, and yeah, so I'm looking forward to reading this in 2022. Then I have another steamy romance book, and that is The King of Battle and Blood, and this is also from Scarlett St. Clair, who wrote A Touch of Darkness, that whole series, the Hades and Persephone retelling series. This is a vampire romance kind of thing, so I don't really know much if there's anything based on lore here. I think it has to do with a vampire king and an arranged marriage. I don't really know, but it sounds really good. I love vampire romance or anything with vampires, so this just sounds right up my alley. I have here a first in a series that I have not finished yet, but I'm really enjoying. I am currently reading, and that is Leviathan Wakes by James S.A. Corey. This book is so cool. Now, I am not a sci-fi geek by any means. I enjoy Star Wars. I enjoy Dune. I enjoy anything that has to do with like space and the moon and things like that. But this series is probably going to make me into a science fiction nerd. Like, I'm not kidding at all about that, because I'm loving this series so much so far. And yeah, I never thought that I would be this person. Then I have another YA book here, and that is Dreams Lie Beneath by Rebecca Ross. I really love the idea of this book when I read the synopsis, so I'm going to read it to you as well because I thought it was really cool. It's based on like dreams and magic and things like that. It sounds super atmospheric, and it also has deckled edges, which I love. But The realm of Azinur has been cursed. Every new moon, magic flows from the nearby mountain and brings nightmares to life. Only magicians who serve as territory wardens stand between people and their worst dreams. Clementine Madigan is ready to follow in her father's footsteps as the warden of Hereswith, even though she yearns to study the wilder side of magic. Instead, she must record townspeople's nightmares so she and her father are prepared for the danger of the new moon. When her father's domain is challenged by two magicians, Clementine is drawn into a century-old conflict. She seeks revenge on one of the brothers who dueled with her father, but as she gets closer to the handsome young magician, secrets begin to rise, and Clementine, once keen on vengeance, must unite with her rival and face the realm's curse, which seems to be haunting her every turn. So that sounds really amazing. Like I said, I'm probably going to pick this up sooner than later because there are a few YA books that I want to crush in the beginning of the year before I continue on with any books that are part of a series. I'd like to get some of my standalones out of the way first because I know once I really get into the series, I'm not going to want to pick up anything else in between. Then I have here The X-Hex by Erin Sterling. This was one of my reads for November and I really enjoyed this. It was a fun read, super like cute and Stars Hollow vibes, witchy, all the little elements that I love about like cozy mysteries were kind of in this as well. I really thought it was cute. It's not like a perfect book in any way, but it's such a fun read and I suggest picking it up. Kind of like a hate to love romance that kind of went wrong, but it just was so cute. And I just really loved the prologue as well. I thought that was hilarious and funny and great. So a lot of people on BookTube are talking about this book. I suggest you pick it up if you like witchy romances. It was perfect for what it was. I have here Threadneedle, and this is by Carrie Thomas. This book, I don't know if this came out in the US, but I have seen Jody talk about this book at Vanilla Moon. She picked this up. I don't know if she read it, but I saw it on one of her book hauls and I immediately had to like order it because it sounded just like something that I would love. And in case you guys didn't know, I sew book sleeves, so I love to sew. So I thought that was cool that all the stitching on here, I just really love that, and I embroider as well, so I thought that was really cool of a book. And it says magic is the first sin and must be bound. I believe it's a romance, but it also has to do with magic. It says Anna's Anne has always warned her of the dangers of magic. It twists its knots, its deadly consequences. Now Anna counts down the days to the ceremony that will bind her magic forever until she meets Effie and Addis. They open her eyes to a London she never knew existed, a shop that sells memories, a secret library where the librarian feeds off words, a club where revelers lose themselves in a haze of spells. But as she is swept deeper into this world, Anna begins to wonder if her aunt was right all along. Is her magic a gift or a curse? So it's super vague, but it just sounds really sweet and adorable, and I just love the cover. It's beautiful. It's just a beautiful book. So I can't wait to read this. I will probably pick it up closer to the springtime because it just sounds, I like, you know, cute witchy books for the spring. And then I have here Cunning Women, and this is by Elizabeth Lee. This is a book about the Pendle witches in England. This was the original witch burnings and witch trials that took place during the whole witch hysteria that the world went through during a very dark time in history. So I really wanted to pick this up because it is like based on historical events that happened, and I just love anything about witches that have to do with the history aspect along with fiction. I just love reading witchy fantasy books and literature about witches, and the like the blurbs in the back here. It says, when it is no longer safe to be called a witch, they call themselves cunning. Cunning women, witch women, love it. Next, I have another current read of mine, which I really didn't want to start that many books, but I was at work and I had the sample on my Kindle and I started reading it, and now I'm kind of like into it. And that is Vespertine by Margaret Rogerson. I really love this author's writing. Now, her writing does not vibe a lot with everybody, but Sorcery of Thorns, I really truly loved that book when I read it. It was one of my favorite books of the year a couple years back when it came out. So this book is about a and this doesn't have romance, which I really like. A lot of her stories are magic based, female main characters who the romance isn't there. And I am enjoying romance, but sometimes I just don't want it in my YA. Sometimes I feel like it just gets annoying after a while. So Vespertine, this is about a girl who like harnesses the dead, like spirits. So she walks in the cemeteries at night and she has to like tame these ghosts. It's pretty cool. And her buddy is a like crow. Pretty awesome. Really enjoying this. I think it might be a favorite read. I don't know, but very much enjoying it right now. I don't have much to say about it yet because I just started reading it, but right off the bat I knew it was going to be a new favorite. Next, my book of the month pick for December, and that is A History of Wild Places by Shea Ernshaw. Looking forward to reading this with our book club, Stacks of Strange book club. We will be reading this in January, so please join us. Very much looking forward to getting to this book. It's been highly anticipated for me. I love Shea Ernshaw's writing. She has an excellent way of creating an atmosphere that you just can't forget. So looking forward to her adult novel now, and it sounds amazing. It's based on like folklore, along with it has a mystery aspect and a thriller aspect as well. The next I have a book that is so unexpected of me to pick up, but I've been really interested in this writer's writing and books because she writes about witches. And this is Dance Upon Air. This is the first in the Three Sisters Island trilogy, and it's a book about three sisters that are witches. It takes place, like, kind of mirrors Salem 1692 and then current day, which is like in the early 2000s. So this was definitely written a long time ago. But Nora Roberts has a lot of books out, and probably for great reason. They're probably super easy to read, and they're in the romance section, so obviously there's going to be some romance in here. But I just like her ideas that she comes up with when I read synopsises of her books. Sometimes you just want like that cozy witchy book. I do own another one of her books of a series called Dark Witch, so I'm looking to kind of just get into both of these series this year. So if anybody wants to join me in reading some of these series, if you too like witch romances, let me know. I'd love to buddy read. I picked up this paperback of Sarah J. Maas' Crescent City, House of Earth and Blood. I have the hardback, but it's super heavy to read, and I really want to reread this book before the second one comes out, so I picked up the paperback because I said, why not? I really love this book. I love Sarah J. Maas' writing. I collect her books, so I was like, I really don't care about having 2 editions of this book at all, and at least I can carry this with me, even though it's a brick in itself, but at least I could just throw it in my big purse and take it with me and not really care what happens to it. Which is a lie, actually. But the hardback, I really don't want anything to happen to that book. It's a first edition. I don't want anything to happen to it. I have a short story collection, and that is called The Haunting Season, Ghostly Tales for Long Winter Nights. And this is just by like a whole slew of authors that write ghost stories, and I'm really excited to pick this up. A lot of my friends recommended this book to me, so I'm looking forward to picking it up. Like I said, I have a hard time reading like classics sometimes because the wording. So this is more of our current day authors writing these ghost stories for the winter time. This is not just Christmas stories. This is just winter ghost stories. Haunting season, Yuletide season, the darkest days season. It's just the time of ghost stories and kind of reflecting on your shadow self per se as well. So yes, I will keep this by my bed, and I will be reading hopefully a story a night until I finish it. Lastly, for the fiction books, I have the Assassin's Apprentice series here by Robin Hobb. I have been dying to get into the series, and Carol knows. I keep asking her, when should I, like, what book should I start with? What, like, she knows I've been wanting to read this for a long time, so I'm finally picking it up. I love these editions, and I have to, like, I just want to buy all of them from Book Depository, all of her books. So I'm hoping, I really love this series, so I can just like binge order the rest of all her books and read them. I know everyone loves Robin Hobb, and she's a well-beloved author. Her series is well-beloved, and I know that there's dragons in it, which I love. So looking forward to starting that series in 2022. I have some witchcraft books that I've been getting into that I'd like to share with you as well. I have Scottish Witchcraft, A Complete Guide to Authentic Folklore Spells and Magical Tools by Barbara Micklejohn Free. I have like a real curiosity for Scottish witchcraft and Celtic witchcraft, Gaelic witchcraft. Yeah, I just want to know a little bit more about this part of the world, and I've always been drawn to it, so I thought this book would be a great start in that journey. Witchcraft is an interesting journey. You kind of go through pockets of learning about certain things. So right now, I'm really interested in like Celtic mythology and that part of the world, Welsh mythology as well. Nordic, you know, that whole area of the world. And then I have here From the Cauldron Born, which is similar to that, and this is Exploring Magic of Welsh Legend and Lore. This is more of like Ireland and that aspect of witchcraft as well. So this has exercises in it. So the way that this book goes is you read the chapter, you do your exercise, and then you move on. I don't suggest reading it all at once. I suggest working on the exercises as you go. It will just help you remember the things that you're reading. So check it out. And I'm liking how they're doing that now. A lot of authors are taking responsibility for the practice and helping you do exercises as well as, you know, learning the content and just actually doing the content, which is nice. And then I have Bohemian Magic, and this is by Veronica Varlow, who I follow on Instagram. This book is just gorgeous. Let's just say I kind of bought it on because it's just beautiful, and in the back it says Reclaim Your Wild. I just thought it was gorgeous. I want to know a little bit about her story, and I just like the idea of Bohemian Magic. I just think the artwork is beautiful, and I'm curious. I'm just curious, and I want to know. This might be something that I use. So yeah, so that is that. I think that's it for my book haul. I bought a lot of books this year, in case you haven't noticed. But that's probably going to end now because I am getting married in August. So if you want to gift me books off my Amazon wish list, by all means, because I can't buy any more books. I have too many to read anyway. And I have a lot to get to, a lot of series to get to, and I feel like this haul is just enough books to read for the year. This video is kind of long, and I'm sorry about that. I know personally I like a good long book haul. I watch a lot of them while I'm getting ready for work in the morning, so I hope you guys enjoy this video. I hope you are all doing well and celebrating with your families this year, and if you can't celebrate the holiday with your family this year, I hope you're in good spirits, and I wish you all the best in the 2022. I think we're coming out of this, guys, and I just hope for all of us that we can find more peace in everyday life. It's very important that we do, because if we're in a good peace of mind, the world changes. We have to kind of let that hate go, and let's move into 2022 loving each other again, because that's so important. So on that note, thanks for joining me. I will have my end of the year wrap up hopefully up after this video in a week or two. I haven't been able to really film. It's been such a busy year for me and a busy couple months with my job. It's just been so crazy that I've been burnt out coming home every single day to like sit down and film for you. So I know a lot of you have been wondering where I've been, and it's just, I've been working. I'm sorry. I've just been working and life is just crazy, and yeah, but I love you all, and I thank you so much for all your support this year and in the coming years. I really love being here, and I can't wait to show you guys some of the content that I do have planned for 2022, because things are going to change a little bit here and there, and it's all good changes. So thank you for watching, and as always, Please like and subscribe down below. Make sure you comment a book emoji if you watched this entire video. I would love to see how many people have actually stuck around for this entire video because it's kind of long. And then let me know if any of these books are books that you're reading or that you have read in the past, and if you enjoyed them. Please no spoilers though. Keep those to yourself. And make sure you are following the Stacks of Strange book club and also the Horror in 24 book club that I am a part of. We have a lot planned for 2022, and all the links will be down below for those book clubs. But on that note, guys, that is it. That is all I have for you today. I'm exhausted and I am so happy to be back and posting a video for you all. Happy holidays. Love you all. Take care and goodbye.